pretend like we're at the top. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the last PTA meeting of the year. It is June. This is the last week of school. We are on our way out. So we actually are continuing our board meeting that ran a little bit long, but so we're just going to kind of jump into the second half of that. And then I anticipate that the rest of the meeting will be relatively short, but I think it's all kind of related and of interest. So we just had a treasurer's report. Natalie, you want to do the membership update?
There's not too much to report. We've got a few new members, some new paying members. They might have been here before the last meeting. I can't remember. And then we've had several teachers try to claim money who weren't on the list before, so we added them to the memberships. So we're ending the year with 178 members. 65 of those are teachers, and 113 family members. And then for Acacia, I'm willing to help with the member hub and putting things in the store. I'm just out of the country until July 13th, so I can't do anything before then. That's all I've got.
Great, thank you. And that's a huge accomplishment. I mean, 178 members. I think last year we ended like 46. So, I mean, pandemic, I get it, but like, yay us, let's pat ourselves on the back. Communications update, which is also kind of the membership update. I think I alluded to this in our last meeting. We have to change over Member Hub. This is just a grand annoyance is the reality here. So because of all of the drama with the Maryland PTA, we were previously affiliated with the Maryland PTA under Member Hub. Now we have to move to Free State under Member Hub. And they sent out these instructions, like, just do these things. And silly me, I thought this was going to be like, you know, a quick hour of my morning. And it's turned out to be just an enormous headache. So first of all, thank you to Natalie and Aaron, who have put in tremendous amounts of work to recreate everything we had on the old website and put it on the new I use the word website, really I mean Member Hub, which is the base of our website. I think between Natalie and so basically the clock runs out at the end of this month. Between their hard work, Aaron and Natalie's hard work, we should be in a position to transition officially at, you know, like in the next 2 weeks, right? And we're waiting till the end of the school year, but before the end of the month. I'm going to need to recreate some things in communications around like our website template. I'm sorry, not website, newsletter template. And then we have to reset up our store, which, to be honest, our store is kind of floundering anyway. I'm not sure it accurately reflects what we have anyway. So a fresh start on the store may not be such a bad thing. We can kind of take inventory of the t-shirts we actually have and those types of things. And then Acacia, we have to reset up the Stripe account. But I think those are the must-dos. And then, of course, we can continue to add on to Member Hub however we want.
Amanda, what's the deadline for setting up that Stripe account?
Well, we have to transition by the end of the month. I don't know if we can not have a Stripe account until you get back from vacation. Like, I'm not sure how this works. We are in a position where we can transition whenever we want to. Like, I think we can do it. And Melissa, yeah, I'll answer your question in a minute. Embezzlement is the answer.
Amanda, I thought I saw a message from Member Hub that said, if you need more time, please reach out to contact so-and-so.
Yes. So that's true. Actually, I did that initially. We did buy ourselves some more time. What happens is at the end of the month, they're not going to deactivate our old Member Hub, but all of the membership functions go away, which is the main reason why we really had to move over. So for dues and membership counting, et cetera. So Acacia, I know you said you're going on vacation. Let's just, whatever works for you. Like,
I'll be back. I have I'll be back for the 27th. So I have 4 days there to wrap up anything with Miss Nolte and any checks that she needs reimbursed and making sure that all of that's done. I do have it on my list. I keep getting emails from Member Hub saying, you know, make sure that you transition over. And I don't know if that's just like, if I have to do something different. So I haven't started because I've just been dealing with this and the budget stuff. So tomorrow I was going to sit down and go over Member Hub, and I'll see if I can start the process with the bank account now. I know it takes a couple of days. They do like a little tiny transaction back and forth, and then you have to verify it. So if I can start it now and then finalize it before the end of the month, I'll do that.
Okay, great. Yeah, just let me know how I can help. So, I mean, there's all of this stuff that had to happen, you know, website and members. So that's all part of the transition. And then Stripe is one piece of that. The store is another piece of it. But as I said, like, I think this is a good opportunity. Erin, I can work with you. I don't know if Hyatt's doing Spirit Wear next year, but we can, you know, I'm not too worried. We can build this store from scratch and see that as a good thing. But it's the Stripe thing that, to be honest, I don't really understand how that all works. So just let me know if you know you need any help on that.
Yeah, I mean, really it's getting the inventory and getting images for it. Other than that, you know, like the store online from Member Hub isn't really that hard to set up.
Yeah.
So.
And I saw this dream that the woman who does Meadow Hall's Spirit Wear is going to do ours. Apparently she had a daughter who went through Maryvale. So she's got this awesome, like, kind of separate store where she does all of Meadow Hall's Spirit Wear. It's like great selection, great prices. She lives locally, so she delivers to the school and there's no shipping costs. And I want nothing more in life than to like convince her to do ours also. Yeah, and then Melissa, so there had been some major corruption at the state PTA to the point where they got shut down. And then we didn't have a state PTA because our PTA was shut down. So there's this new it's called Free State, which is just a different way of saying Maryland. That's not Maryland. So we just have, it's all about, you know, corporations and bylaws and memberships and stuff. And now, so we are members of Free State PTA, but we have our nonprofit status under Delaware. And it's not just us, it's every PTA in the state, but it's been fun times. So, all right. That's the communications update. I still will make my plea if anyone wants to be communications chair next year, or you know anybody who would be good at this. It would not break my heart not to do the newsletter every week next year. So just noting that. Okay, Erin, anything for website update?
So really nothing other than the transition to the new link. And Teresa was just asking me about changing our address. And I was telling her that right now our current address of Member Hub, we'll change it when we're ready to transfer.
Yes.
And then we'll change the working Member Hub website to the current name. And that way the links all stay the same for, like, you know, Maryvale's elementary school's homepage links directly to it. So we won't have that problem of having to give people a new link. Okay. So we just have to do that when we're ready to transition and before the deadline.
Right.
So
yeah, sometime in the next 2 weeks is basically what it is. And the good news is, again, our old one's not going to go away because I asked for the extension. It's just going to lose some functionality and we'll be transitioning. All right, Brian, any delegate updates?
Hi, yeah. At the last delegate meeting, they just approved a bunch of bylaws and approved the budget for the next year. So that's basically what happened at the last meeting, the last delegate meeting.
Great, thank you. Program and events, Teresa?
Yeah, which is another position that I would gladly give up to a aspiring board member next year. The main thing to share is that Mrs. Chittum and I sat down last Friday and we mapped out story time times for every month of the next school year with themes, which is her very fun idea. So those are on the calendar now. We'll flex if there's like an instrumental music concert or something. The school gets dibs, obviously. But there's a theme night for each of the grades, you know, to have students from that grade read. The little ones are the cutest, but you know, they can join all of them. And then there's other ones like summer fun and friendship and spooky stories read with a flashlight under your chin or whatever. So that should be really fun and is low impact, and another reason we should keep the Zoom account going. And then as for what other activities we have during the year, who knows, but that's why we need a programs and events chair.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Just because I don't know that's anywhere else, maybe Sandra, you might talk about this during your update, but the Maryvale extravaganza, it worked. It happened. It was awesome. And it just, I think almost all of you went, and it was just really cool. It was a ton of work. I've never, sold so much pizza in my life. And I think, it was like just chaos. I realized I never once made it to the gym. I had to ask Teresa, I was like, how did it go down there? I never made it to the, barely
I
made it.
never made it to the cafeteria. I just
Right. It was
outside
just
the
like one of
gym.
these. And so, I mean, I think, yay, it was successful. We raised some money and we'll hear more about that. But more importantly, it was nice to bring back things like the international fair that had been gone for so long. And this, it was spring fling light. Apparently it used to be just this ridiculously big production, but I think it, worked for us. And even with the weather being questionable and setting up in the gym. So, just there are some lessons learned, but nothing tragic, just that building fees are a lot more than you think they are. And around just what we may or may not want to do next year. But I just sort of want to say thank you to those of you who are part of it, because it was a big deal. It was a lot of fun, and I think the kids liked it a lot. And it was just nice to see everyone together, right? I mean, that's the big thing. Okay, so the next thing here is summer planning. There's a couple things that are going to happen over the summer that I just wanted to note now, in addition to everything that Keisha went over for the budget. One is it is time to redo our bylaws again. Yay. So I spent some time today looking at them, and Eric, I sent you an email recruiting you to help. We not only do we need to do it because the time has come, but also because of the Free State Maryland transition. I don't think we have Free State bylaws. I think we have Maryland bylaws. And technically we need to have Free State bylaws. So they have a template. It's a really useful template. We can pull up our old bylaws. I really don't think this is that hard. It's a lot of just codifying what we already do, but it's a really important process step. So Eric, will you help me? Oh, awesome. All right. So we'll get together. I mean, we live around the corner. We'll get together one of these days and, fill it out, obviously share it. Yeah, the silent auction is awesome. Share it with all of you for approval and everything, with a goal of a membership vote in September or October. This is the problem. Apparently we needed to have this all filed by June 1st. Oops. But I didn't know this because the communication is not as great as I would love it to be. So we're going to do the best we can. Nobody's told us we're out of compliance. It was more mass email that went to everybody saying that this is supposed to get done. But we'll get it together ASAP. We'll share it with you all over the summer. I don't know, maybe we'll aim for just one board meeting all summer, perhaps in July or something. And then have a membership vote. And the one just substantive change going into it I was going to make was to kind of revert back to taking out, what was it called? The co-president or the president in waiting or the president to be. We just never were really able. Yeah, we were never able to pull that off. I think it's a good idea in theory. And just for those of you who don't know, technically in our bylaws, there should be the 4 positions: president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and also a president-elect who is kind of the shadowing of the president, so that person can be president the next year. That's really a hard pitch to give to someone, to be like, hey, do you think you want to be president in 2 years? And so we were never really able to fill that position. It's not a required position, and I was going to take that back out. It was only in one iteration of the bylaws. Previously it wasn't there. So let me know if anyone has any problem with that, but that was the only, I think, substantive change I was anticipating making in the bylaws. All right. Oh, also, sorry, my own thing updates here. We have a couple things, just things to calendar that, look for. These are things that we'll need some help on. Everything we just talked about, we'll definitely want the PTA table, maybe soliciting people to buy kits. So kindergarten orientation is August 18th and 19th. 18th is English, French is the 19th. I'm going to be out of town. I have a kindergartner too, but we're got vacation. So we're going to need some volunteers to kind of man the table. And this can be, I can put out a call to other people as well. And then similarly, August 26th, which is that Friday before school starts is the open house for everybody. I'll be back by then. And that's when we're gonna need people to also man tables, maybe sell kits, certainly hawk the PTA and those types of things. So I'll put together some sign up geniuses once I have specific times from you, Miss Prin, but just kind of putting those dates on people's minds. And then also thinking through what collateral, what we want to do with those events again. So are we selling kits? Are we just signing up members? We're just giving out pieces of paper saying this is what the PTA does, but it seems far away, but that's 2 months from now in the summer. So just making sure we're kind of Teresa was going to put together kind of like what to expect from the PTA. My anecdote is when I had an incoming kindergarten the first time and they talked about the Boohoo Yahoo. I was like, what is that? Like, I never heard the term Boohoo Yahoo, didn't know what it was. And I think recognizing that when you have people coming in who are like, I don't know what International Fair is, I don't know what Boohoo Yahoo is, and just kind of taking it back to 101 for people who haven't been part of Maryvale before. Awesome. Yes, the max flexibility on electronic voting. Yes, agreed. We'll look into all that. So that's the end of the board meeting. Anything I missed or any questions or comments or things around that? Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for your flexibility and kind of keeping going. So now we're in the regular meeting. We can skip the welcome and go to Ms. Prin, your principal's update.
I'm gonna just share quickly that because this is scheduled for the last day of school this week, which is Friday, but it really was through the generous donation of a parent and the work of the PTA. We are having a big dance into summer party, so I'm hoping everybody will come. And it is there's going to be balloon arches, which I think you might know, at each of the doors. We're giving sunglasses out, and there'll be music playing for students and staff. One of the parents in the school works for MCPS, as we have several, but this one works in the Department of Communication at Central Office. And she happened to be sitting at a meeting, and they were discussing what they could film on the last day of school, and did anybody know of anything special schools were doing? So she pulled up the Connect Ed and showed them the Connect Ed message that we were doing this dance party. So there's a crew coming for the MCPS camera crew is coming, I'm assuming, because I haven't heard otherwise, on Friday at our dismissal to film it and to talk to a few of the kids and maybe a few of the parents and maybe a few of staff members. So they're not going to get in the way, but they want to be there to just capture the fun of it. So that's what I want to share. Tomorrow we've had a busy couple weeks. We had the instrumental music concert, which was standing room only. They did such a great job. That was last week. That was a rescheduled. The first one had to get canceled due to illness. But then we had tomorrow, we have the promotion ceremony at 2:15, and we are doing it at Maryvale like we used to do before the day. And so we'll have it in our cafeteria in the afternoon at the end of the day. And we chose to do it at 2:15 to 3:15 so that families could come and attend the promotion, but then do something special with them after. And then on Thursday, it will be a fun day of celebration for our 5th graders with their teachers and their class. They're doing pizzas, signing t-shirts, cupcakes, the ices that were donated from the spring fling. So they have a fun day planned. And this week is also Spirit Week. Our 5th graders each day are coming in with a theme that they gave input on what they wanted. So that is tomorrow. And then Thursday morning, we're doing Madame Coney's 2nd grade French immersion play. I'm already stressed out. I have 3 lines I have to learn in French, and I'm thinking I'm just going to write them on my hand. Mr. Bowerman.
Is she making you wear a costume?
Yes, totally. And she's mad at me that I cut my hair short because she can't braid it long and into the. So I've disappointed her already. Wait till she hears my French. so the kids are so excited, and Mr. Bowerman's gonna have, he's in two of the, two plays, that will be done. So, I think she knows how bad I am. She only put me in one, but that will be Thursday, Thursday morning. And then Friday is the early release day, and that we get out at 1:20 on Friday. So the dance into summer will be at 1:20. Every year this year, it is bittersweet for both Mr. Bowerman and I. We're happy families are going to enjoy, a summer of making memories together, but it's hard, and it's especially hard to say goodbye to, see you later to our our fifth graders. I was going to say the kindergartners. My first year was 6 years ago, so these are the kindergartners I sort of grew up with. So it's especially bittersweet for me this year. So I'm going to try to keep it together tomorrow. I probably won't. And then Mr. Bowerman's going to give updates about summer school.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Coming to you live from home, and family. So if you hear any joyous play in the background, that's what's going on here. But hello. So in terms of our summer school experience, we are completely staffed and prepared with a full rising first grade through rising fifth in our French immersion and in English. Right now, probably somewhere around 180 students were capped in terms of all enrollments at this time are closed. We have a full math and ELA experience, as well as 2 electives that are going to be chosen by the students. They get 2 weeks of one elective, 2 weeks of another. Of course, there's lunch, breakfast, all manner of other fun activities. Our theme is Summer Sizzle, and we will be sizzling into July 6th to the 29th, having a great time with Miss Grunmeyer, who's going to be our summer lead teacher. Miss Prin will also be helping to facilitate. Darshan Jain, the new AP/principal intern, will be there as well, although it'll primarily be Miss Grunmeyer and Miss Prin who will be navigating that summer experience. 4.5-hour day with our normal arrival time. And let's see what else I want to share with you about that. Transportation at this time, we are waiting on updates from transportation. Theoretically, there's going to be 1 or 2 buses, mostly 1 or 2, maybe just 1 in the community, and possibly 1 French immersion bus. We were hoping for more. We had 4 last year. We may have 1 or 2 max right now. We are waiting on those things. We have shared that with transportation and waiting for updates there around that. In addition, Maryvale is lucky enough that we'll be housing our neighborhood buddies. Barnsley Elementary will be at our school with a rising 1st through 5th program as well. And they will be there sharing our school with us. We'll be lucky to have them there and share our beautiful building. And we also have, and that'll be also in the month of July. And then we also have 3 days, just 3 days, that a CAP program, our comprehensive autism preschool program, will be holding 3 days there as well. So lots going on. And I guess the other thing I just wanted to share, for those who are here, everyone already knows I'm going. Obviously, this is my last PTA meeting with all of you. My last time here with Maryvale, which is also very bittersweet. So I am here at the building until about the 30th. And then I start my new position at Matsunaga as the principal intern on July the 1st. Of course, I'm always available to any of you via email. I hope to see all of your wonderful faces between now and then, but I just want to thank the PTA for all their love and support and encouragement and kindness to me and my family over the years that I've been fortunate enough to serve this community alongside Ms. Prin and our amazing staff. And your children, I love them dearly. So thank you so much for letting me be a part of Maryvale for the last 4 years. It's been an honor.
Thank you, Mr. Bowerman. We've loved having you too. It's a little bittersweet on our end, but we'll still keep in touch. We'll all just like randomly, we'll find the Zoom for their PTA and just like bomb it sometimes. Be
Yeah.
like, hi, Mr. Bowerman. Not problematically, so just cute. And as we say hi and then leave. We'll miss you too. All right.
He's here till June 30th too, just saying. He's here till June 30th. We're not letting him go early.
And we expect some serious dancing on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Don't worry, I've got surprises planned for that too.
okay, good. All right. On the recording, of the dance party, where does that show? Like, if MCPS shows up with a camera crew, I'm just curious, like, where will our dance party be broadcast? Who's going to see it?
It could be shown just through the MCPS emails that they do highlights of summer. It will probably,
Okay.
it could be on the MCPS TV if they do, a summer, the summer updates from different schools. It's not just our school. They're going to a few other schools as
Okay.
well. And I think
Okay.
they'll do a montage of it. But if I get, they probably will send me a link and then I'll send it out directly
Awesome.
to you. Mhm. And I send it as a connected.
Great. Thank
I'm
you.
not going to interrupt families on Sunday evenings over the summer, but I don't mind doing a weekly email, like just a little hey when I need to.
Wonderful. All right. Any questions or comments for Ms. Brenner, Mr. Bowerman? All right, Acacia, it's on to you. And before I turn it over, as we talked about the dance into summer, did you include that money, like the extra money that we needed in this budget?
Yeah, I did.
Perfect.
In the budget for this year, not for the summer budget. Yeah.
Oh, good. Just making sure. Okay, awesome. It's all your floor is yours.
Okay, so I have just a couple of changes, as we just talked about, for this budget. Even though we are ending in just a couple of weeks, our fiscal year changes over July 1st. But we had a donation and we needed to put that into the budget so that we were able to pay for that dance party. So I'm going to share both of our budgets every time. Let's see if I can do this. I think it's here. Okay, can you see that? So this is the budget for this current year. And we have, the balance carried forward, which is what I was talking about, Amanda, that isn't the official number until we close out the books. And right here in the donation line, I had to add $1,000 there. So that was a change. And then the next change, all the other line items stayed the same until family engagement programs right here, where we increased it by 5, not by 1,000, because we took out another program that we were going to be doing. So it only increased by 500 here. And then our operational expenses right here increased by $75 to cover more PayPal and Square fees from the extravaganza expenses. And that was it. So those little tweaks we need your vote on. And so do I have any questions? And if not, do I have anybody who's willing to move to approve that change in the budget?
Aaron? Aaron, your audio's gone a little berserk. Okay, yeah. Okay, Aaron may have, I will move to approve the budget. I'm not sure if that's what Aaron was trying to say. I don't know if you could hear Aaron, but it was humorous. It's just sort of the same thing.
I heard that. Second, the motion?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
So that one, great. And then the next order here I have is the summer budget. So we have to make kind of a gap budget in order to spend any money over the summer. And then we prepare the budget in the summer and vote on it at the September meeting, and it's effective October 1st. And this is kind of getting us to October 1st. And so that's a separate budget, and you can see the balance on hand carried forward matches the ending budget here balance. When we do the full summer budget, it'll be based on how we end the fiscal year, the balance on hand. We don't have that number yet. So for the summer, we have money that we start with the money that we ended with, and then here we have adjustment for carried over funds. In the spring, we had some staff come to us with some program expenses that they asked for. We approved them. They have not been spent yet. So I carried that money over to cover those expenses because we said that we would pay for them, and we will. And so we're counting on a little bit of money in donations, maybe like a restaurant night over the summer, which we had last year. That fundraising line, that is for student supply kits. So we're planning on a program this summer where the PTA does your back to school shopping for you, not your clothes, not the clothes of the kids, just the supplies, that the supply list that the teachers send out that say like everybody needs a pack of crayons and highlighters and hand sanitizer and stuff like that. And so we've come up with a system where you can just purchase that when you purchase your membership over the summer, and the school will buy it and provide it right to your child's classroom. You can even buy a donation kit for somebody else in your child's class if you choose, or in other people's classes. So that fundraising line there accounts for a number, 100 of those kits being sold. They'll be at $35 a piece. I have a crawling child here. You need to be quiet, please. And then we're hoping on a few members signing up. And then we have a cost of goods sold. That is the cost of the kits that we'll be buying. And that was everything that went into that category. And then we've got some committee expenses, which is like the staff breakfast that we have in the end of August. And family engagement programs are the Boohoo Yahoo and the Cougar Kickoff that we have at the beginning of the school year. And we have some operational expenses and organizational expenses, which tend to be things like website renewals or postage, dues to the National PTA, PayPal fees, and then program support expenses. We have some money in there, and those are for, as we listed, we had the adjusted amount up there of people, music department and the library usually gets some money from us, and we have some counseling support money. So there is that falls in that program support expenses. And then the other thing that falls in there is homework folders and desk shields and some additional support flex money there if somebody comes to us and needs something. So that brings our budget down here. Oh, also t-shirts for the kindergartners. I think I squeezed that in. So that's our budget for the summer, and brings us right down using all of it. And we probably won't use all of this, but this is a conservative budget. So if anybody has any questions about this summer budget, feel free to ask. Otherwise, if somebody would
Acacia,
move
I
to,
think-
yes.
I think you answered this when we talked about it before, but if we are nervous about being that close to the line, part of the reason why we're that close to the line is big outlays like to the library and that sort of thing
Right.
are factored into this budget, but
Yes.
big fundraisers, like if we do Cougar Cash again or other stuff, are not factored into this budget
Correct.
at all. So we could expect
Correct.
to recoup that during the year.
Yes, we can. And we also, that balance on hand carried forward is going to be more, but how much more depends on how things close out this year. So that won't change until the September budget is created. So we just have to operate with that money for now. And when a new budget is proposed in September, that'll be based on actual numbers, and we'll get a better sense of how things went this summer, how Cougar cash drives are going, and we'll be able to really map out, have a better map of our spending for the year. But that also gives us time to kind of see how things are going over the summer, and how drives for membership are going in September. Usually that's our biggest month for memberships. Are there any other questions about the summer budget? Okay, doesn't sound like it. So if somebody would like to move to pass the budget as proposed.
So moved.
Do I have a
Second.
second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, thank you. That's it for me.
And thank you, Acacia. I know this is a ton of work between these budgets and cleaning up for the Maryvale extravaganza and all of that, and just throughout the year. I know Keith has the title, but we know you do a lot of work behind the scenes. So thank you. All right, moving on to Sandra, another person who's done a ton of work this year, and we want to say thank you to, because the reason why we can do anything that Acacia just mentioned is because Sandra has been super busy all year trying to bringing in money, and also Rachel, and we thank you for that. So let's hear our grand numbers. What did we make?
All right. Well, Acacia texted me today. It looks like minus fees and all of the, the cost of the pizza and things like that. Our total was for $4,911.44. So that includes, Acacia, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that also includes like the pizza and the Carmen's. So that's in addition to the silent auction. Oh, and the tickets for the extravaganza and stuff. So all of that together. So that's pretty cool. So that was not just me. That I know Teresa did awesome with the extravaganza, and then Amanda and Ronnie and the gym with the food and the international night. So yeah, it was great effort by everyone, and very generous donations from parents. And buying things. So that's for the latest with fundraising. Acacia mentioned possibly doing a summer restaurant night. I know last year we did Carmen's. I wanted to check and see if anyone had any suggestions, or if I should just look into that one again. And if we wanted to do something at the school, like Kona ice, or like a little, but I mean, I guess we could do that with like kindergarten orientation or something. But yeah, does anyone have any?
Carmen's was great because it was also a play date, and we didn't have to rent out the school. So I am all in on a Carmen's one. I think that worked out really, really well.
Oh, Teresa, looks like breast. Okay, so yeah, I'll look at if Carmen's isn't available. I will look up this other one that Teresa recommended. So
It's like right by my house in Gaithersburg. So selfishly, I offer it, but it has a lot of outdoor space for no party area, but at least outdoors.
Yeah, it has a huge parking lot.
Yeah. And I mean, I can try to do two. We could do like a restaurant night and then just like a dessert night play date thing. Are you guys up for that? Like, should I try to pull out two if we can? Okay, I'll see what we can do.
And
Yeah,
I think we also
don't stress yourself. I mean, it's flexible, whatever you feel like doing.
It's fairly easy to plan, but I don't have time right now. So when school is out, then yeah, I'll look in to see what's available. So.
And Miss Prin, I think we had that Safeway one drop in our lap. Safeway on Rockville Pike randomly contacted us and said we want to do a fundraiser with you. So I don't know the details, but there's a week in August when everyone needs to do their grocery shopping at this one Safeway on Rockville Pike, and they donate
Yeah,
a portion. Yeah, it dropped in our lap. So, I mean, we'll take it, but there's that too.
Okay. And I also, I guess it's probably too late to send out flyers. Is it too late to send out flyers, Mrs. Friend? Because the seasonal routes, I know we've been advertising it in the member hub, but I do have some flyers we could send out or leave with the teachers even, just if teachers were interested in joining because that's another thing that I haven't had time to promote, but I don't know, we probably could have earned some money. I need to check in with the contact for that, so. But yeah, that's about all I got.
Thank you. Any questions for Sandra? Again, thank you for all the hard work, and at a different meeting, we can kind of strategize about next year. But I think we had some big wins this year between Cougar Cash and the silent auction, and then of course like the restaurant nights and everything in between. And it was so nice to have the book fair back. I think just like I was at a totally separate thing this weekend, and there were some kids from my son's class who were just telling me how much they love the book fair and when's the book fair coming back. And I think like it's like a really awesome thing in the life of a elementary school kid to walk in and see all that in their library.
And just randomly, since you mentioned that, when I was talking to Mrs. Chittum, she already has in her head a week in November that would be ideal for the book fair. So we can start thinking about that.
All right. Awesome. All right. So down to now other business. We already talked about an A here, which is the membership and school supply program. Acacia, do you want to talk about that anymore? Is there anything we haven't covered?
I'm not sure. I'm sitting here thinking about it just as we have a certain amount in the budget that we just passed to be able to buy those in advance and buy them in bulk. And I know that we have a couple of places where we can source that, but I would love some volunteers for whenever that happens. We need some hands-on volunteers to like, this is a kindergarten packet. It needs this, this, and this. It goes to Madam Neechenpie's class. And that's people. That's people. I can set up the budget and,
Right.
get all that stuff organized and help, get it set up in the store, but we're going to need some people to put all that together. So if we can be thinking about that.
I was thinking I need to send out in the next couple weeks an email to everybody and ask for people to volunteer for the following discrete tasks. PTA Closet needs help. All the organizers, I've had several parents get really excited about organizing the PTA Closet, so the time has come. Like we need you in there to clean, to sort, to throw stuff away, to label, etc. Open house, we already talked about, and kindergarten orientation, people sit at tables. The audit committee you already mentioned, and then the school supplies. So why don't I send out a special correspondence in a week or so, just saying the summer's here. We're not going to be doing weekly newsletters, but we've got some stuff we want to get done over the summer. Please, send me an email if you are interested in any of the following, and hopefully we can source some people that way. Does that sound good? Awesome.
Yeah.
I think sign-up geniuses are also really effective because then people can just see when you exactly need somebody to sign up. And if you've got weekend slots, I'm sure that would make things easier.
Yeah, I love Sign Up Genius, and that works well for orientation and open house. Something like the PTA Closet, like I can work with anybody's schedule, right? Like the whole point is it's kind of whenever they would want to go, or maybe it's about
to say like time. I am one of the 4 people who wants to do this.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, Teresa, we can work on a Sign Up Genius. Yep.
Yeah.
And speaking of Sign Up Genius, if you haven't already, we have a couple slots more for the dance into summer party. And then next here is the seeking board members for 2022-23, Melissa, as we start, and others. We do have open slots. Thank you to, I think all of you are continuing on in your existing roles. We really appreciate everything you did this year. We appreciate you signing on again for next year. But, other parents, other people who have been involved, people who had, discrete volunteer activities who might be willing to step up. We've got programs and events, communications. We also got ones we never filled. Advocacy. We're supposed to have an NAACP rep. We're supposed to have a number of different positions. And as we talk about communications, there's like doing the newsletter, but we've had lots of ideas over the year about how to do communications much better. And we've never really had the capacity to act on that. So, energy would be wonderful. Okay. And then the last thing here I have is we already touched on the dance into summer, which is just very exciting. There will be bubble machines. I placed the Amazon order this morning. So the children will dance. So we're going to decorate like the actual like doorway, right? So with streamers and balloons and stuff. And then they're going to come outside, no bubbles inside, I promise, Miss Pern. They're going to come outside and dance into music and bubbles and, dance onto the buses and into the cars and that sort of thing. So that'll be a lot of fun. Oh, and we're giving out sunglasses too, because it's summer, right? So each kid gets a pair of sunglasses. And then for the teachers, we are buying you guys 2 Costco cakes and giving you a bunch of the drinks that are left over from the extravaganza. And so thank you all teachers, because they're having a potluck that they've otherwise organized, but we can supply drinks and cake for. So it'll be a fun last day. And when the teachers, I don't know if this has been explicitly said. So part of this dancing thing is, we all know that at 1:20 the kids dismiss. If there's another population in the school that wants to celebrate and dance, it is the teachers and the administration. So they are expected to come down and have, I'm thinking 1 song, 2 songs. It's not a big time suck, but those teachers need to be dancing too. Once all the kids are gone, to like celebrate their beginning of summer, because the kids are gone, and that's part of the fun as well. So it'll be a good time. All right, so that leads us just kind of to open forum, which is otherwise known as anything else. Questions, comments, things we forgot to discuss, anything else that we should discuss before we close up?
I mean,
Music.
talk about music. I know that you talked to me about it. I
think we're good.
Briefly talked to Keith about it, but I don't have a lot of capacity.
So I have Amazon Music, and there is a kids party playlist that is G-rated, and it's actually pretty good. We like use it in my house, just not gonna lie. Sometimes there's a dance party at our house. And it's like songs from Madagascar and the Lego movie and things. So it's kind of like a little trendier, but still kids music. And so at the bus store, I am bringing my own, we have a Bluetooth speaker from our kitchen, and I'm going to play it off my phone. And then in the main entrance, Miss Chittum's setting up the school speakers. I mean, there's more kids there, it's a bigger space. And she has Spotify, and she found a playlist. It's not the same one, but she found one that's going to work. So we're all good. Sandra, unless you're like a professional DJ on the side and we don't know about this and you want to help.
I'm not. I mean, my husband loves music and loves Spotify. We subscribe, and he's always creating playlists. So
okay, well, if he wants to create one, so it's Miss Chittum's Spotify account and her phone that she's going to play off of. So if he wants to, I know he was on it. Looks like he dropped. If he wants to create the playlist and somehow, get it to Miss Chittum, that would be awesome too.
I know the 5th graders love music from Hamilton, and I'm sure if there are any 5th graders, I know they're always like, Mr. Bowerman can attest to this. It sounds like they're always singing to him during a recess.
We just can't have the explicit parts.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yeah. So
I mean, some of it's totally fine, but like,
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Well, again, thank you all for a great year. We really appreciate it. Work to be done over the summer, but obviously for the most part, take a break. There'll be no membership meetings over the summer. We may meet as a board once, or just as necessary in small groups to like plan things like the school supplies drive. Hope everyone's taking some fun vacations, and we will reconvene perhaps in person. I don't know, in September. I guess really quickly though, before we go, without actually knowing the state of the pandemic in September, because it's cyclical and we all know that, do we want to try to resume in-person meetings, or do we think that Zoom is kind of the way to go because it's more accessible?
I prefer Zoom because we have kids going in so many different directions that makes it a lot easier to have one less place to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Aaron, your audio. Sorry, Aaron, you gotta mute again. Maybe chat it. Sorry, Aaron.
I don't know how things are going to play out, but maybe we could alternate and do like Zoom in person every other month or something.
Yeah, and I think even if we do it in person, we're going to have a Zoom too.
Right.
And maybe we can vibe it out when we're meeting kindergarten parents and whatever to see what they would want. I prefer Zoom personally, but I'm not in charge of the world.
Yeah, I kind of like Zoom too, to be honest. And maybe we do a 1 or 2 in person, because there's value in just like actually meeting each other and having connections. But yeah, it's so much easier. And I don't even live far, but just, childcare and life is a lot easier when you don't have to travel anywhere.
I do like, maybe the first one hybrid if situations allow, so that we can meet the people who want to be met.
And I've seen some schools, like close by to me, they have like food trucks available because, I was eating dinner at the beginning of this meeting and which is why my video has been off. So I think like if we had food trucks available and maybe an activity for the kids or something, I don't know, that's a lot more work for us, but just an option. Yeah, at least the food trucks when the kids can kind of contain themselves maybe.
All right. Well, thank you again. Have a good evening and good last week of school. And even if you can't make it on Friday, at 1:20, make sure you're kind of dancing with your kids to celebrate the end of the year. So, bye everyone.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Bye.